Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so since you've all just crushed Class 4, you've already learned some absolutely incredible things about how our universe works, right? Well, consider this your special mission briefing. Today, we're going to refresh all that knowledge together. We're going on the ultimate zoom-in journey, starting way out in the vastness of deep space and zooming all the way down to the actual dirt in our backyards. So get ready, because it's going to be a fantastic ride.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our flight path for today. First, our amazing solar system. Second, the moon phases and the night sky. Third, all about Earth's soil. Fourth, Earth's precious natural resources. And finally, number 5, understanding and preventing pollution.
Section 1, our amazing solar system. Let's start the engines. You know, our starting point isn't just the Earth. We're kicking things off in the vast Milky Way galaxy. It's this massive collection of billions of stars, and it's just one of many, many galaxies out there in the universe. But this is the one our solar system calls home.
To really grasp our place in space, we first kind of have to understand how we're moving. And Earth, it's constantly pulling off 2 major dance moves. The first one is rotation. Think of a spinning top. That is exactly what the Earth is doing, spinning around an imaginary line going straight through its center. The second move is revolution. This is Earth's massive 365-day journey all the way around the sun. But here is a mind-blowing detail. Earth doesn't just sit perfectly straight up and down while it revolves. It actually leans at a 23.5-degree tilt. And that specific tilt is absolutely crucial. It's the exact reason different parts of the planet get warmer and cooler. Literally, it's the whole reason we have our changing seasons.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the contrast between these 2 very different planetary neighborhoods. On one hand, we have the terrestrial planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. These are the inner planets. They're tough, they're rocky, they're solid. You could literally stand on them. But if you travel further out, you hit the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These outer planets are just massive. And like the name suggests, they're basically made up of gases. It's almost like they're made of giant, fluffy clouds. Though, honestly, I definitely wouldn't recommend trying to land on them.
Every planet in our system kind of has its own unique personality. Take Mercury, for example. It's so close to the sun that it whips completely around its orbit in just 88 days. Then you've got Venus, the absolute brightest planet in our sky, which is completely covered in clouds and volcanoes. Earth, our home, sits perfectly in what's called the habitable zone, where life can actually thrive. Mars is the famous red planet, known for these intense, sweeping dust storms. And then there's Jupiter, the absolute heavyweight champion. It's so huge you could fit all the other planets inside it, and it features the Great Red Spot, which is actually a gigantic storm that's been raging for a very long time. Oh, and here's a fun fact you gotta remember for sure. Planets do not make their own light. If you see them shining in the night sky, they aren't twinkling like stars. They're just reflecting the light of the sun.
So, we've toured the grand solar system, but what about Earth's closest neighbor? It's time to zoom in just a little bit closer to home.
Section 2, Moon Phases and Night Sky. Welcome to Earth's orbit. Let's talk about our closest companion, the Moon, and the beautiful tapestry of the night sky right behind it.
And this brilliantly illustrates a process that is just wild to think about. During this 28-day cycle, the Moon isn't actually changing shape at all. Remember, the Moon doesn't produce its own light, it just reflects the sun. So as the Moon takes its roughly 28-day orbit around us, we just see different parts of it getting lit up. It starts as a new moon, where we can't see it because the lit side is facing totally away from us. About a week in, we see a first quarter, like a half circle. By day 14, Earth is right between the sun and the moon, giving us a big, bright, full moon. Finally, it shrinks down to a waning crescent before the whole shebang starts all over again.
But, you know, the moon is definitely not alone up there. Our night sky is incredibly busy. There are 88 officially recognized constellations. These are like ancient connect-the-dots stories living right there in the stars, featuring characters like Orion the Hunter and Leo the Lion. You might also spot a quick streak of light, what we usually call a shooting star. Actually, scratch that. They aren't stars at all. They're meteors, moving so incredibly fast that the friction from hitting Earth's atmosphere just causes them to burn up and glow. Plus, we share the sky with human-made helpers too. Artificial satellites, like the Hubble Space Telescope and GPS satellites, silently orbit up there, helping us communicate, predict the weather, and navigate.
Okay, so now that we've seen Earth from space, let's land. Let's look at what's right under our feet. We've been looking up, but now, brace yourselves. We're zooming all the way down from the starry sky right through the atmosphere and landing right in your backyard.
Section 3, all about Earth's soil. Now, it might just look like plain old dirt to you, but the ground we walk on is a complex, living system.
Let's move to and see how this builds layer by layer. If we were to dig a super deep hole, the very top layer is the topsoil. It's dark, it's soft, and it's packed with something called humus, which is organic matter that makes the soil really fertile. This is the happy home for earthworms, beetles, and plant roots. Dig a little deeper and you hit the subsoil. It's harder, grayer, and holds water. Keep digging and you hit weathered rock. No plants can survive down here. Finally, at the very bottom, you hit the bedrock. It's totally solid, non-porous rock. You can't even dig it by hand, and it acts as the sturdy foundation for literally everything sitting above it.
But hey, not all soil is exactly the same on the surface. There are three main types. Sandy soil has these large, porous particles. Water drains right through it, so it's really poor at holding on to moisture. Clayey soil is the exact opposite. Its particles are incredibly fine and packed super tightly together. It holds water beautifully, which, fun fact, is why it's so great for making pottery and clay toys. But if you actually want to grow plants, you want loamy soil. It's basically the Goldilocks of dirt. It's a perfect mixture of sand, clay, and humus, offering the absolute perfect balance of water retention and aeration so roots can easily breathe.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this: that top layer of soil, the topsoil, is incredibly light and fragile. When wind and heavy water sweep across the land, they can carry that dark, fertile layer right away. We call this soil erosion. And without our topsoil, plants simply cannot survive, which means animals and humans can't survive either. Protecting this delicate layer of dirt is quite literally one of the most important jobs we have on this planet.
Section 4, Earth's Precious Natural Resources. Let's zoom out just a little bit from the soil. The dirt is super important for sure, but it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Let's look at all the amazing gifts nature provides us.
To understand these resources, we have to understand where they live, the ecosystem. An ecosystem is an environment where biotic, meaning living things like plants and animals, and abiotic, meaning non-living things like air, water, and soil, all exist together. Think of an ecosystem as a massive, big community. In this community, everyone literally depends on each other to thrive. The animals need the air, the plants need the water and the soil, and we need all of it.
Now, within this community, we use natural resources for our energy, food, and shelter, but we really have to be careful because they fall into two distinct categories. Renewable resources are things that nature can replace quickly, like solar energy from the sun, wind energy, hydropower from moving water, and even geothermal heat from inside the earth. And the best part? They don't produce much waste, which keeps our big community nice and clean. On the flip side, we have non-renewable resources, like fossil fuels. These are incredibly limited, and once we use them up, there's no going back. They cannot be replaced quickly.
We rely on these resources every single day, but human activities can put a massive strain on this delicate balance. So we really have to ask ourselves, what happens when our big community and its resources get dirty?
Section 5, Understanding and Preventing Pollution. That brings us to our final and honestly perhaps the most critical topic of our entire zoom-in journey. Let's talk about pollution.
Pollution is simply when harmful things mix into our clean environment, and it comes in quite a few forms. Air pollution can come from natural events like volcanic ash, or human activities like factories pumping out smoke, and it directly hurts our lungs. But here is an amazing fact. Plants are our absolute heroes here. They take in that harmful carbon dioxide and breathe out clean oxygen, actively fighting air pollution for us. Then there's noise pollution. Excessive, loud noises cause stress for us, and they actually harm animals by disrupting their ability to communicate with each other in the wild. Overall, pollution drastically reduces biodiversity and damages the very ecosystems we need to survive.
But the story doesn't end there, because we actually have the power to fix it. Conservation is key. By recycling, we take old materials and reuse them to make completely new goods. This means we don't have to extract as many raw materials from the earth. Recycling directly conserves our natural, non-renewable resources, it cuts down on waste, and it protects our beautiful ecosystems. It's quite literally one of the most powerful tools you have to help our planet.
And there you have it. What a mission! We've literally zoomed from the vast, swirling Milky Way galaxy through our spinning solar system, past the phases of the moon, straight down through the layers of the soil, and right into the heart of our ecosystems and natural resources. You now have a complete Class 4 refresher of exactly how our world operates. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you understand just how connected and delicate our big community really is, how are you going to use this knowledge to protect our amazing Earth this year? Think about it. Thanks for joining this explainer, and keep exploring.